subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. He began humbly, brushing coats and tending hooves as a groom in Jamaica. Yet even when life carried him far from the stables, migrating to Canada and steering trucks across the construction industry, the pull of the horse never loosened its grip. That enduring passion brought Seymour Biggs back to the sport he loved. First as an owner, then as a trainer, his journey is proof that when unshakable determination meets an innate love of horses, achievements follow.
The name Biggs in horse racing,
Biggs,
it's fairly common and it's been around for a while.
yes.
Tell me and our viewers about Seymour Biggs, and first of all, his family in horse racing here in Jamaica.
All right, Seymour Biggs. I was brought up next door, the biggest stable in Jamaica, which is Melvin Park. My father and my uncle used to work there as groom. So from a tender age, basically, I have the privilege of being around horses. I get my first groom license in 1985, working for trainer Ren Gonzalez. But my first trainer that I worked with was Sidney Watson. I was there as a kid, galloping horses at Melvin Park, you know, just about everything with horses. Gallop, looking after horses, working with grooms as, you know, apprentice, whatever it is, just whatever. After that, I work with Ren Gonzalez, Beverly Roden, Clive Logan, Humphrey Stewart, and so on and so forth. I even worked for Frank Parham for maybe a year or two, but my life is basically about horses.
All right.
I have a brother, Leroy Biggs. Everybody know him as Chepso. He died. I also have a next brother, Dave Biggs. He's a groom. He's still at the track right now. And Ralph Porter, that's a cousin of mine.
That's a trainer.
Yeah, he's a trainer. That's my auntie's son. So racing is something that's in my blood.
What age you got your groom's license?
I get my license in 85. I think 19.
At about 19?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Tell us about some of your successes as a groom.
I didn't look after the horses for a long period of time. When I was working with Sidney Watson, I mostly do gallop and stuff like that, you know, because we have maybe 80, 90 horses to go to the track each day, 5 days a week. So, you know, we have to gallop a lot. After Sidney Watson, I work with Ren Gonzalez. I was doing the same at Mr. Ren. Then I start groom one horse for Beverly Roden. Very nice horse too, but you know, unfortunately, he get hurt on the track and died. Mm-hmm. After I leave Beverly Roden, I was working with Clive Logan. That time, Clive Logan take over the Melvin Park strip. It was owned then by Skengdan, and Clive Logan was the one who was, you know, doing with the horses, Joe Thomas and so on and so forth. I didn't stay. I stayed with Clive Logan for maybe a year or so. Then Vin Edwards come and take it over, and when Vin Edwards come and take it over, I lost my job. You know, reasons beyond my control, but I ain't gonna go into that right now. I was upside Humphrey Stewart with my brother, Chepso Leroy Biggs, Ralph Porter. He was the assistant there at the time. Laffy, Spree, just to name a few. I was just there as a kid around my brother. You know, my brother was looking after at the time Once More, Kremlin, and other horses. I can't remember some of them right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my journey there with those trainers. Frank Parham, I win 4 races at Frank Parham as a groom.
You remember the horses?
Return 3 times, and I win 1 with Weirdsat. And then I was looking after a horse over by Frank Parham, Good Conduct. I think that's the best horse I ever look after. He run once in my hand in a 2-year-old race, and I don't know what happened between the trainer and the owner, and they take the horse and move it to Mr. Wayne DaCosta. I tried to go with that horse and I didn't, so I'd actually leave the sport a little after that, because when you know what you got and you lose it, you know, kind of disappointed, so I leave then. I come back maybe 2 years, 3 years after, you know, not working, just helping out Frank Parham. That's when he was, you know, he moved from the paddock back and he was down where Mr. Eniver used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was there with him for a couple of months, but, you know, it wasn't feasible, so I leave again. Being around, being to the States, being everywhere. Then I migrated to Canada. When I migrated to Canada, I was driving truck, working for a construction company. But I still have horses in my my blood. Where I used to live, it was 5 minutes away from the main track there then, which was Northland. So I used to, like on Saturdays and weekdays when races run at night, I used to go to the track and, you know, it comes back. And I actually remember I was talking to my brother, now deceased Chepso, and I was telling him, you know, I live like 5 minutes from the track, you know, and I was trying to get him to come to Canada to, you know, work with horses, but unfortunately that didn't materialize because he ended up dying the same year, you know. So I was there, you know, being around horses, you know, and I started to own horses. And when I started to own horses, this trainer named Ken Tingle, he's a Jamaican by birth. He's there forever. He was training horses for me. And I was, you know, there jumping around and so on and so forth. That's where my journey in Canada started with horses. The first race I won in Canada as an owner, Dane Nelson ride the horse, it was Wheels Up in 30. I was gifted and lucky enough to win 2 races that day as a owner. Dane Nelson ride both of the horses, Wheels Up in 30 and Backstreet Bobby. So those were my 2 first wins in Canada. But I win those races as an owner.
Right.
I was even told then that I was the first person of color to win 2 races on a day in Western Canada as an owner.
What year was that?
I would say 2020.
Okay.
Because I started training 21, yeah. And you know, Dane Nelson was my first 3 races for me as an owner. And when I get my trainer's license in 2021, the end of 2021, my first 2 start, both of my horses came 4th. Fast track to 2022, I start 2 horses again, both of them came 3rd. So my first 4 start, I hit the board and every time, Backstreet Bobby, Wheels Up in 30, 3rd and 4th with each one of them on my first 2 start. Mm-hmm. My 5th and 6th start, I win my 5th start again, Wheels Up in 30 with Dane Nelson. He won the first race for me as a trainer, and I won that horse too. And the same day I came 2nd with Backstreet Bobby. Until today, I still think I won that race, but you know.
It was a photo finish?
Yes, and I look at the finish on many occasions, and I don't see the horse last, but the camera say otherwise, but it is what it is.
And that was when, no, 23?
22.
22, sorry.
Yeah.
22, you started 21.
Yeah.
The horse racing was always in your blood. But as an owner, and you started getting success and you were doing your driving, what prompted you now to go into training?
Honestly, I was there around the horses all the time, and Wesley Henley was at the track at the time too. And he was getting on my horses because he was in Canada galloping. He was getting on my horses then. And he was one of the persons who kind of encouraged me with Dwight Chin, Wesley and the Dwight Chin, and a kid named Michael Rowe. They were the one who, like, you know, influenced me to say, you know, you are here, you know, go get your trainer's license. I think about it because I was making good money driving trucks and in the construction industry, and you know, I said I got nothing to lose, so I, you know, go and get the trainer's license, and that's where it started.
So you got your license in 21.
Yeah.
Right? We're now at 26. How has that journey been like for you in Canada as a trainer?
Honestly, I think I did pretty well. You know, if I'm not wrong, I think I win 22 or 23 races as a trainer. And incidentally, you know, all of my races that I won them with Jamaican rider. Dane Nelson, I think he win the first race for me as a trainer. Dane Nelson won it. Shamari Moore, he won 4 races for me and 1 was a DQ, so basically 3. Linton Stedman, I brought him to Canada and he won 9 for me over a 2-year period.
Okay.
Tevin Foster, he was there with me last year. He won 4 for me last year. Mm-hmm. Richard Lunan, he won 2 for me last year and 1 the year before. So, you know, The Jamaican jockeys them did well for me.
And they're off in the sixth. Independence Day gets the first call from in between Carrera Cabello and Whiteout Machine as they exit the chute and head on to the QE2 backside. Amir is an early fifth, as on the outside, Perpetual Bliss going up with the early leaders. Omega Shooting Star, wrong spot, spots the leaders about 12 down the backside. Independence Day and Carrera Cabello, they're stride for stride past the quarter in 22 and 4. In it from third is Machine. Perpetual Bliss to his outside. Amir's in it from fifth. Wrong spot, gobbling up the ground now. Passing Omega Shooting Star. Now the trailer. It's Independence Day. Puts a half length on Carrera Cabello into the far turn. Machine is hustled up. Perpetual Bliss is 4 wide. That makes Amir come up the rail. In between Omega Shooting Star, wrong spot, 5 lengths, top to tail, top of the lane down the stretch. It's Independence Day and a wrong spot coming up the inside. Amir is in between. Machine's down for the drive. In between Amir, down to these two. Wrong spot up the inside. Amir and Machine down to the line. Amir, Machine, too tight to call. Amir might have got the nose down. Machine was game and a wrong spot, 117 and 4. Sixth race. Declared official. Amir 58.50 to win, 16.50 to place, 440 to show. Machine 482.50, wrong spot, 210 on the show. Into the money's enclosure. Sixth race winner to kick off to pick 4, number 2, Amir. Scores at 28 to 1. 5-year-old Bay Gilding Alberta bred by Old Forester. Under the mare Ruckus Time by Gilded Time. Runs away going to Jack Stable, winning trainer Seymour Biggs, Linton Stedman. Welcome back, Stedman, 117 and 3.
Are you seeing progress? Are you getting more horses, more success as the years flow?
Yeah, I could say that because right now I got 2 owners with 3 horses, you know, one of 2 and one of 1, you know, and other people telling me, you know, if I got space, you know, they'll give me things, work, so, you know, sky's the limit.
You also saddled horses here last year.
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
Whiskey, that's, I love that horse. Anyway, I run that horse last year. The first time I run him, Tajay Suko ride him, I don't remember the distance that he went. He came 3rd. And then, that's the first start, yeah. And then he run back again, and I think he came 5th with Richard Henry. The last time he run, he came, the last start I get with our he came 2nd with Emilio McLean. I honestly expect him to win that day, but he didn't. He came 2nd, and then he get claimed. So I haven't run no more horses in Jamaica since then. I tried to claim horses, but it's hard to get horses here, so.
So is it a situation where you're looking to saddle horses both in Canada and here?
Yes, that's my goal. Help, you know, but I think the weather get the better of him. So the weather is not a boy weather. So he run away.
So the possibility is that he won't be coming back anytime soon.
Well, he can come whenever time he wanna come. You know, I'm not gonna tell him that he gotta come this time or that time. You know, if he wanna come, he can come. That's his decision.
What about family, trainer?
I have my wife, and I have kids. I have 5 kids, 2 girls and 3 boys. You know, they're all doing good. My son Xavier, he works for Jamaica Aid Support for Life. He's the monitoring coordinator. My next son, my namesake Seymour, he's an accountant out by Lasco. My other son now, he's in Canada with me. He plays football. He's in college now playing football, American football. And my daughters, one of them just finished university, and the other one is working in the insurance field. So yeah, my kids it's good.
So nobody with an interest in horse racing?
My son got nothing to do with it. The one in Canada got nothing to do with it. The one them out here, they got their own life, so I'm not gonna say, you know, they got no interest. They'll gamble or whatever the situation may be, but they don't come around the track.
So anybody else in the Biggs family showing an inclination towards horse racing outside of your kids?
Oh, I got lots of family in the game, man. As I said, Ralph Porter is my cousin. He's a trainer. Dave is my brother. He's groom. I got an ex-cousin down here, Martin Biggs. I don't know if he's working now, but he's a groom too. Okay. And there's the next one, Delroy. He's not here now, but he was also a groom. But Biggs, when you say racing, Biggs, we always here.
Do you have any horses at all now here in Jamaica?
No, as I say, I'm trying to claim horses, but my luck. I don't know, my luck. Everyone I try to claim, like a lot of people try to claim the same horses too, and I haven't got one yet.
So it's just a matter of time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Even when I leave and go back to Canada, I still gonna try to claim horses because I still want to have horses here running while I'm away.
Right. And you spoke about the size of your barn in Canada. Small, but the plan is to improve.
Oh yeah, right now, give and take, if I get the stalls, I got 12 horses. Right now, if I get stalls, I got 12. I don't know how many stalls I'm gonna get because one of the truck in the Western Canada shut down, and some of those horses possibly gonna move to my track. So, it depends on how many stalls I get. I think I'm gonna, if I apply for 12, so hopefully I get 12 or whatever I get. But, I hope I get enough for my horses them to come to the track because I got no other places for them to be.
And you are currently at which track?
Century Mile and Century Downs.
On behalf of our channel, we want to thank you and wish you further success.
Thank you. And before you go, I need to reach out to Trainer Dwight Chin. That man give me a lot of encouragement in whatsoever I do overseas. Wesley Henry, as I said, he was one of the person who encouraged me when I was going for my license to go and do it. Respect to him too. This kid Linton Stedman, Tevin Foster, those two kids, they did a lot for me in Canada, and I appreciated what they done, and hopefully 2026 we can continue that.
Thanks, sir, and all the best.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from QuickGallopJaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.